All right, man, we're live. We're live. The whole world's falling.
All right.
Everything's
Oh
in
shit.
limbo.
Okay.
We're dying,
Yeah.
starving. We need a green candle, man.
Yeah. No, man. It's definitely crunch time for sure. We're on the verge of entering what could be an extended correction and consolidation phase, otherwise known as a bear market. Although
Mhm.
we still are putting in higher lows.
uh, yeah.
But with that being said,
Yeah.
there's plenty of reasons to be concerned for sure.
There's definitely
So
a
man,
lot.
I've started panic selling. I'm selling my kidneys. I'm taking a second mortgage out on the house, and I'm pretty much basing my actions based off like
Mhm.
emotions and what I'm seeing, feeling at the moment.
Right,
What do you think
right.
about that strategy?
We talk a lot about kidneys and all that. You know how much a kidney costs?
How much?
If you want to legally sell your, it could be purchased. Wow. So a heart's going for 1 million. Liver's
A
coming
million?
second. Yeah, 557.
Are we
Kidneys
talking
is like
black market or
I
like
don't even know.
your
Don't ask me.
market?
Man. I'm not an expert. I'm just saying. Google it up. Kidney costs about 262,000. So that's how many bitcoins.
US or
Yeah. Right.
right? Well,
So
you
it's
don't
like
really need a kidney.
we got a little sum. We got like a good eight. I would say eight. Yeah,
Yeah,
eight bitcoins. It's not bad.
not bad.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah, you don't need a kidney, I'm pretty sure.
you definitely don't need a kidney. 100%. You need Bitcoin. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, man, have you
hmm,
ever read the book War is a Racket?
wars in Iraq. What'd you say?
War is a Racket.
No, man.
It's a great book. You should read it.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, yeah.
Appreciate it.
No, they man, no, where do you want to start off here? Look, there's
Start
plenty to
off
talk
by
about
look
here.
saying it's Monday. It's another week, another dollar to be made. If you're
Hmm.
at work right now listening to us, let us know what are you doing. It's the beginning of the week, so we're trying to see. Look, man, we woke up to a lot of bad news. More FUD from China. Hash rate is dropping. Banks are doing their own thing. The West is doing something, and the East is doing something else. Right? China's doing something. US and the European market are doing something else. So this live stream, we're gonna discuss that. I see a lot of people here already, 36 people, 5 likes. Guys, make sure you press the like button so it just helps with the engagement. And man, I see Ben saying he's first, Gerald saying good morning, Crypto Platinum saying hello, can you hear me? Just a bunch of stuff here, man, and it's with all the bad news. Yeah, it's just bad news.
Yeah, no, look, there's plenty of bad news. Why don't we start discussing this? So, guys,
Yeah.
look, here's basically what's happening. So, the Chinese central bank orders lenders to cut cryptos. So, the central Chinese bank is ordering all the other banks to cut off all financial support for Bitcoin miners and for Bitcoin transactions. So, China is totally 100% clamping down on Bitcoin. And look, one way to view this is we're holding up surprisingly well considering how
Oh yeah.
bad this news is. Because look, man, China controlled previously like roughly around half of
Hmm.
Bitcoin's hash rate mining power, and
Right.
so that's definitely not the case now. Which ultimately is a good thing. I mean, hash rate did drop tremendously, which is pretty bearish. But again, man, over the long term, this just means that Bitcoin will become more decentralized and less in the control of China.
Right.
So for me, this was just like a growing pain that we had to get through eventually. It was either going to be now, next month, a year from now, 5 years from now. It was just going to happen eventually. So it's at
Right.
least we're getting it out of the way, kind of thing, you know?
100%, man. I agree.
Yeah.
There's a lot, it's just the whole market is a lot of talks about higher interest rates, about inflation, hyperinflation, and all that. And besides all the point, man, I think the biggest news that came out right now, which is basically if I just switch here to my screen again, this came out today. Banks fall in line as China's central bank cracks down on crypto accounts. Right? Agbank, the world's third largest bank by assets, has indicated it will follow the People's Bank of China's cue and work to stamp out its clients' crypto-related activities. Well, I mean, you guys don't have any other, they don't have any other option. The Agriculture Bank of China, the world's third largest bank by asset, is set to implement Beijing's firm anti-cryptocurrency measures and rigorously vet its client to ensure they are not engaged in any form of illegal activities involving crypto transacting, trading, or mining. So it's not only just miners, man. Like, look, if you have
It's
anything,
anything. Yeah.
anything that has crypto stamp on it, we're not only just gonna crowd down on it, we're gonna fully close your account. There's disciplinary action, and yeah, man,
Yeah, this is
this
what I
it's a
would
job.
call, and the technical terminology is what people refer to in the business as no bueno.
That's what
That's
they
kind
call it
of
in the professional world, huh?
yeah, that's the technical terminology, and a lot of people aren't very familiar. But yeah, it is referred to as muy no bueno oftentimes as well.
I see.
So yeah, and again, man, look,
Man, I
I
can
mean,
imagine you in meetings, professional meetings, just saying like, guys, so just on other terms here, thank you for listening for an hour and a half. This is no bueno.
so just like a super serious, in-depth, nuanced like presentation, and
Yeah.
then like just at the end. So in conclusion, muy no bueno.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, man. No, look, and that would be the exact kind of professional I would be.
Right.
But look, man. On the other hand, here, if you go back to my screen here, we do have a bit of bullish news. Although I don't think this is anything world changing, because this is pretty much the usual. But it is interesting to see. So Michael Saylor of Macro Strategy has purchased an additional 13,005 Bitcoin on the dip, totaling up to $489 million in cash, an average price of, I think this is, what is this, 37,617.
Mm-hmm.
So they now hold over 100,000 Bitcoin at an average entry of $26,080.
Bro,
So
what is this guy doing?
pretty interesting.
Did he lose his
Um,
mind?
Look, man, no, I think because look, I'm hearing a lot of people criticize Michael Saylor. A lot of people have a lot of feelings and stuff, but I honestly understand him because
I
I
love him.
think, yeah, and I think for people like him, like I feel the same way he does in the sense that I think what's going on is that he feels the greater risk is not having exposure to the asset,
Yeah.
because people see risk in totally different ways. And a lot of people see risk as, oh, the US dollar of value, of Bitcoin is falling. Oh no, that's a giant risk. Well,
Mm-hmm.
people like Michael Saylor see the risk as not having exposure to this asset because he believes in the long-term future. And I kind of lean towards that way as well, man. Like, look, as long as I can, keep the lights on and pay the bills, I want to keep as much goddamn exposure to this market as possible because I believe in the space long term, and I do as well. I feel like the greater risk is not having exposure to this market.
Man, and he,
Uh,
he he pretty much even explained it very well as well. He's talking about, look, if I put my money in gold and I, compared the performance with gold and Bitcoin right now, it's a huge difference in terms of how much profits I can make. He's even talking about just inflation as well. With printing all that money, inflation really at all time, it's going up all time highs. Stocks are all-time highs right now. Everyone's talking about inflation. Everyone's scared from the market, even with the reopening that's happening right now. And he's just being very clear. Look, I looked at the performance of Bitcoin for the past 10 years, and I looked at the performance of gold and bonds, which are used to hedge when there's a lot of inflation going on. People start going to risk-off assets. And yeah, he's saying even with that, it's not even helping with inflation. Even if I put my money in bonds or whatever the case might be, I'm not really gaining much. So he's like, look, Bitcoin is where it's at right now for him.
Dude, and unfortunately, I don't have the chart pulled up, but you're exactly correct. Recent numbers came out about bond returns,
Hmm.
and the returns on bonds are actually now in the negative due to inflation.
Damn.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, man, and inflation's a real thing. It's at 5% now, year over year, likely
Right.
to increase every year moving forward. So, yeah, man, there's lots of concerning stuff going on. Do you have any more stories on your end, or can we take a look
Of
here at the stock
course,
market?
man. Of
Let's
course.
take a
Even
look.
even on beginning of the week, we were talking about Goldman Sachs even ramping up Bitcoin trading, new partnership with the new, which is they did it back in 2017, but it's not as active as now. But the biggest thing we talked about overall all these central banks, right? We shared it a bunch of times. We shared the research papers and about the euro, digital dollar, and all the international bank of settlement as well, talking about overall cross-border payments and settlements. How we're gonna go about that? One of the biggest powers as well. China's doing that. They're banning crypto. They want to use the technology. They don't want to. They don't like the token. They want to use the technology and apply it to their own currency. So right now, Banque de France. France is where I'm at sometimes. Everybody knows here where I'm at. Banque de France tests digital currency-based security settlement. The Bank of France has completed a central bank digital currency pilot for a securities transaction in collaboration with Swiss crypto bank SEBA. So what they did is they're continuing to work on the development of the European Central Bank Digital Currency, CBDC. On Monday, the bank officially announced the successful completion of a CBDC experiment with major Switzerland. I mean, like, this is the same sentence, just said 3 times. Natalie Ofovre, I guess, General Director of whatever, man. General Director of Financial Stability and Operations at the bank said that the latest CBDC test demonstrated the possibilities for conventional financial systems and distributed systems to interact. It also paves the way for other alliances in order to benefit from the opportunities offered by financial assets on a blockchain environment. So what does that mean, man?
Panic. It means panic. It means you should make decisions based off what you're feeling in the moment,
Right.
and not based off kind of like a
That's
rational
what I'm
long-term
saying.
outlook based off evidence and pragmatism.
Who cares about logic?
It's
Who
so
cares?
Overrated.
It is
Yeah.
overrated. Just ape into stuff, guys. That's what we need. So that's what's happening, man. Look, two big sides of the world, Eastern and the Western one. They got their own now the biggest question, man, I don't know. For me, I would ask right now, China's banning crypto while working on their own CBDC.
Yeah.
And the West is not really banning crypto yet, or they didn't. I mean,
They're still trying to figure it out.
Do you think so?
I think so, man. I think it's the politicians are now being forced in the position to contemplate this stuff, and so I think the moneyed interests have yet to really lobby these politicians so far.
Who do I have to pay?
So, honestly, you just become a multinational corporation and then just hire lobbyists to shill on behalf of Bitcoin and eventually get laws passed in your favor. So as things like Coinbase, as these large investment funds begin to lobby and buy politicians, I mean lobby politicians, I think we'll get more and more favorable regulations for crypto. Guys, we're in the beginning stages. Eventually, this thing's going to look like the stock market. It's going to be regulated out the ass. We have like next to no regulation at this point. And so there's going to be some growing pains. And we just got to expect that this is part of the game. This is what we signed up for.
Yeah. Just went on a rant here, man. Just talking shit about politicians and our lovely corporate world.
Right.
Anyways, man, I see you got something here on your screen. We already switched to your screen. Crypto's the most dangerous investment, Bank of Russia governor says. What is he saying, man?
Yeah, well, it's not just China. So the governor, what is this? Bank of Russia governor says crypto is the most dangerous asset, and so we're seeing a lot of FUD behind crypto right now. And again, guys, what does this really mean? What does this result? What is this FUD? What's the result of this FUD? Is this really an issue for Bitcoin? Well, the result of this FUD is that China is losing its control on Bitcoin. It's becoming more decentralized, and Bitcoin will eventually become greener because miners want to avoid this regulation. All good things over long term. None of this FUD that we're seeing is an issue over the long term. And all this FUD we're seeing with other governments and banks, this is like an instinctive response to something that appears threatening. Eventually they fight it and then they join you. We're at the stage where this is finally starting to catch on. Now they're fighting it. Eventually they'll join us. That's why behind the scenes, they're creating CBDCs and building out the infrastructure to start adopting this technology themselves. But in the meanwhile, while they're accumulating, they want to shake out all the weak hands. So if they can, they'll definitely crash it. But again, guys, all of this FUD we're seeing, does this really spell the end over the long term? No, it doesn't. This all reeks of short-term FUD and manipulation. I don't know about you, man. What do you think?
Right.
Hello?
Yeah. Still here?
You there?
Yeah, I just muted my, my speakers by mistake. I was panicking for a second. I'm like, oh shoot. You're right, man. Does it look, man? That's what we're saying. We're not being naive, and we always say the same thing. Don't be naive thinking it's just black and white. There's world powers involved in this. We've been explaining it. There's world powers involved in this, man. It's not as simple as bear market or bull market. If
You
China out of
calling me
nowhere,
simple?
huh? No, no, no. I'm not talking about you, man. I'm talking about the general consensus we're seeing
No, I
on
know, I
on
know.
on YouTube overall. It's just you don't see many people actually like putting as much weight on what's happening in China as much as they should. You don't see a lot of them talking about stable coins. Stable coins are the biggest thing. It's pegged like what's the biggest threat to the not threat. I mean, what's the biggest thing in terms of policy and regulations that they will have to deal with right now? Governments. What do they have to deal with first thing first? Not Ethereum, not even Bitcoin. Stable coins, coins that are fully pegged to a certain currency, trying to just mimic it and replace it. That's the first market we should be taking. That's the market that the biggest governments and central banks are trying to pay attention to first, besides Bitcoin and besides all these other altcoins, and I don't see that being discussed much on YouTube. And there's a lot of research papers out there from all these different central banks that we think you should take a look at and see what they think of it, because at the end of the day, we're not only talking about them just using technology, we're talking about them making it becoming easier to print more money or burn tokens, or burn more dollars. It's easier to control inflation. It's easier to track what users are doing. It's easier to, against money laundering. It's easier to, there's a bunch of stuff that's going to give them a lot more power, and they don't want anything pegged to the dollar to just come into play. So maybe this FUD is just against a certain stable coins and current cryptocurrencies that are actually trying to replace the certain currencies, as opposed to providing a second layer, scaling solution. As opposed to VeChain, maybe it's not that much of a threat because it's actually doing something to the supply and demand industry. So, anyways, man, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to rant too much. There's a lot out there, guys, that you need to read about. For the 130 viewers in this live stream, there's a lot you need to know about in terms of what's happening in the government, and all these things are actually also available in our Discord. All these resources. It's not only about what these, I guess even us say, but all these other channels say. It's actually what the government eventually is gonna do here. So, yeah, man.
No, 100%. And folks, look, there's 124 people watching, only 16 likes. Folks, if you like what we do and you want to support us, you gotta smash that like button, because we're barely delving into it. We have much more to discuss. We want to talk about. We're gonna go on and talk about what it would take for us to start looking like we're entering a bear market, what it would take for the bull market to continue. So, folks, smash that like button. More likes we get, more likely YouTube is to share the live stream. Also, I would just to piggyback on your point, man, is look, I think a lot of this government FUD is really instinctual, because one, they don't understand it, and number two, they perceive it as a threat. So again, I think all this regulatory FUD we're seeing with banks and politicians is pretty inevitable, man. It's growing pains, in my opinion. And again, if this is indeed the next major asset class on that list with stocks, forex, commodities, futures, whatever, then we're going to go through some regulatory growing pains, and it's just something we've got to get through, right?
100%.
Yeah. And so also looking here at my screen, we see that sentiment is at a pretty goddamn all-time low here. So sentiment calculated here by Sentiment on Twitter is showing how Twitter's sentiment is at a giant low point. The last time it was this low was pretty much, September, October, which was pretty bad. September, October, we were coming off the highs of the August DeFi run there. So the market is pretty fearful. Looking here at the green fear index, we are in extreme fear. So, again, I do think this is pretty well warranted, and maybe we can start getting to some of the charts here because, look, man, in my opinion, I do believe we're at an inflection point, and I do believe we could be on the verge of entering
A
a
disaster.
bear market,
Okay.
an extended correction and consolidation phase. Not yet. We haven't gotten the confirmation yet, but I want to be honest with you guys. I am concerned. I do think we're in make it or break it territory. I think this next week is extremely important. And if the Bulls don't take charge this week, then I think the Bears are going to take it. And if we put in a lower low below $30,000, I think that would constitute a bearish breakdown from this head and shoulders formation. And the price target for this is pretty goddamn bottomless because just real quick here, the way you do price targets for head and shoulders, you draw kind of your shoulder neckline here. You draw a line from the top of the head to the neckline, extend that down to the breakout point, and so let's see how far that that could take us. If
Down in
we
sub-zero
Oh,
territories.
yeah, this is let's see here. Negative 4,400 Bitcoin.
Wow.
So yeah, so basically, folks, the downside potential is pretty goddamn limitless if we put in a lower level of $30,000, which we still haven't done. So for those people jumping to conclusions and wanting to
Mhm.
call it bear market right now, I still think it's a bit premature. I think there's a lot of really good reasons to be concerned and a lot of really good reasons to think that it could happen.
Mhm.
And that's totally reasonable. And I agree with that. But calling it already, I just think is premature.
Yeah, and I think so too, man. Look, overall, a couple of things we need to understand, in my opinion, right? This level we're at right now, 100% proved to be an accumulation zone. Now, is it
Mm.
enough of an accumulation zone to push us back up to these higher levels? That's what we're trying to study and understand. Now, the biggest thing we all need to understand is that it wasn't only the chart. We understand, this is, you guys heard so many times, we're at a level right now where supply and demand met. We see here it's been since May, since the beginning of May, since we've been downtrending. The price action didn't want to go below these levels right now, but it's just heavily getting pushed now. Overall, even this drop we had, we went up. We even tried to retest for a bit and didn't even matter overall because of what's happening outside of the news as well. So even here, we're looking. You're right, man. You're right. It's actually because for the longest time you're down 55%, right? Nothing makes sense with Bitcoin. And all of that started with all the news. So right now we are at that level. But just to show the people what we're actually talking about, as soon as the Chinese bank talked about their anti-crypto statement, which we showed you guys in the beginning of the live stream, here, Agricultural Bank of China issued a notice that will not participate in virtual currency transactions. Sure, we know all that. Customer accounts participating in such activities will be closed and customer relationships will be terminated. We understand that, but the result of this publication was instantly recognizable. Bitcoin plummeted by over 1,000 in minutes before rebounding to 33,000. And the rebound's obvious because of some, buy orders that were at that level. But then again, so much FUD, man. So much out there that's been driving us down. And now, if you want to give maybe a bit of a concrete, sure. Look, if we're just talking about the price action only, I think, whoever's in China right now, who was dealing with crypto at one point, whatever the miner that's been dealing with crypto right now, whatever person that's been trading, I don't think they're going to give a shit what 30K level we're at right now. I don't care. I don't think they're gonna care anywhere where this chart is, and we're gonna see a bunch of people selling that because there's
Oh
risk of
yeah,
imprisonment
yeah,
and jail and whatever the case might be, whatever repercussions. So right
yeah.
now, this is it. We know this was a nice accumulation zone, but there's so much fun news out there that's actually driving this back down. So I agree with you, man. Look, we're so extended to the bottom, 50 something percent down. We can't even get above these levels, right? We keep getting rejected. If we broke below the 30, I think the rapid movement to the bottom already happened, in my opinion. I think even if we drop below the 30, it will catalyze the price action back to these at least mid 20s, right? But I don't think it's gonna be as quick and panic. I think the market
I
already
don't know,
panicked. I
man.
think the market, in my opinion, already panicked much, but I
Yeah,
don't think
but
we're gonna see. I think rebounds, just like I was seeing here, going back to these lower 30K levels. A rebound is very quick, as we saw before. Right now, with everything, even the spent output and the SOPR, is telling that the whole market is actually reset in terms of coins circulating from their last transaction from higher prices, meaning being sold at a loss, we already that ratio already reset at 1 for the whole market.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know. That's
No,
my theory here.
yeah, no, and you're right, man. Look, there's reasons to think that a relief rally is very reasonable. But like I'm just thinking here, like the amount of stop losses likely below 30,000, like just below 30,000, is likely immense. And the amount of shorts that are going to trigger if we drop below 30,000 is likely immense. And so I think we're very likely to have a domino effect, very similar to what happened originally from dropping from the mid 50,000s to about 30,000 if we put in a lower level of 30,000, because everyone and their mother has a stop loss below $30,000. I mean, I do. Everyone is going to have a stop loss. And if we eat flash crash below that, I mean, the amount of stop loss is going to get triggered and the amount of shorts are going to be triggered. It's just like this is going to cascade. Like if we drop below 30,000, this could quickly drop to 24,000 like immediately, like within the span of an hour,
Oh
in
yeah.
my opinion. Not like, not financial advice, folks. And we still haven't done it. We still are putting in higher lows. But there's definitely reasons to be concerned. But look, man, look, I don't think it's all completely doom and gloom. I do think, again, you're right. There's macro off chart factors that are fully driving Bitcoin right now, but there are some interesting signs of hope and bullish divergence on the charts that I now want to share with you guys. And man, you let me know what you think here, how much
Mhm.
weight and how much stock you place in this. But looking here at the weekly chart, first off, number one, if Bitcoin in the next 6 days closes the weekly chart where it's at right now, stupidly bearish, because we can see here how several weekly candles reacted off this range here just at around 33,000. I've been saying for days, if not weeks at this point, 33,000, 33,300 was the point. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weekly candles reacting off this $33,000 range, 33,000, 33,300, which we're now below, which will act as resistance. So if Bitcoin like wants to have that relief rally, the first thing we need to do is get back above this range, 33,000 to 33,300. We need to get above that. But looking at the weekly here, stochastic RSI, great for identifying shifts in trends, is all the way at the bottom, likely to have a bullish crossover in the near future if we see a bit of recovery here. Also, if we bring things back to the daily here, okay, daily is very bearish, but if we go to some of the lower time frames, if we go to the 4 hour, we start to see some signs of bullish divergence. Where looking at the 4 hour here, what are we seeing here with the RSI? We're seeing a higher high in RSI paired with a lower high in price action, which is bullish divergence. Bullish divergence. As well, looking at the hourly here, stochastic RSI, bullish crossover, again, great for understanding shifts in trends. MACD moving up, so a little bit of strength in the hourly, a little bit of bullish divergence on the 4 hour. Weekly stochastic RSI looks primed to have a little bit of bullish divergence. So again, look, there's a lot of reasons to be bearish, and this is, it's pretty small right now, to be honest. But if we can start getting above kind of 33,300, then we can test 35,600. If we can get above that, we can pump more. So there are a few signs in the short term of some hope and some bullish divergence. We'll see how that manifests, and we'll see if we do find a rejection off kind of these key levels that I previously mentioned.
Mhm.
But I do think a little bit of relief rally in the short term is not the craziest idea.
No, it's still not. We still think so. The only thing is, so we were testing this theory, I guess, and that's what we try to do. See where the market reacts off certain levels. Overall, man, what happened here? And let me know what you think. But the fact that we fully still went below this well established, so we had this
Yeah.
resistance that starts since May 20th, and we know that that's been the resistance driving us down. We broke above it. Everyone was happy. We said as a first level, this is where we're gonna find that support, and then squeeze above these higher levels. It did find a bit of support, but that wasn't really enough. Got rejected, went below the 55 EMA on the 4 hour, and then we went down again, try to find that support one time, two times, and then the news continued to drive us back down. So that's what I'm kind of at the moment skeptical of, in terms of we did go down below here, and then we were talking about it being a quick rebound, a quick fake out, and a lot of short positions actually got liquidated here. Went back above to these higher levels, found that resistance again. I got around that zone, went above. Everyone's talking about it, and now that level is not holding much, I guess. So I think right now we're at a level where we need to understand whether the price action itself is as important as much as what's happening in China, what's happening in Europe, what's happening in the US. Is that enough to keep us, hanging around these levels, or more and more people are going to continue dumping? We are seeing those nice bullish signs, I guess, on lower time frames. But then again, we were at a very nice support level that we just completely kind of went below. That's how I'm thinking about
No,
it. So
you're right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's
Yeah.
what I think.
So you're saying you're kind of basing your understanding based off kind of like evidence and like a rational understanding of like what influences the market. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, just maybe a little bit of logic, I would say.
Oh, I'm just trying to understand this. So are you saying that you shouldn't trade and invest based off your emotions and what you feel in the moment?
Sometimes, man, sometimes, yeah, I was reading about that, and they said that could be profitable.
Bro, this is revolutionary. You should write a book about
It
this. This
is,
is
it is,
some
it
crazy
is,
stuff.
it is, man.
Look, man. So, well, you're being very reasonable and saying very true things. I want, I
Need
want to
some
find some
hopium.
reasons.
Give me some
Yeah,
hopium,
yeah.
man.
I'm trying to find some hopium. And look, man, look, you're right. The off chart factors are driving things. This China stuff is driving things. Now, with that being said, I do believe technical analysis, is still relevant. Although, of course, and I know you agree, but of course, the outside
Mhm.
news is driving things. But with that being said, I do think this is pretty interesting that what we're seeing here, man. Again, going back to the hourly, a very low time frame. What are we seeing here? We're seeing that each lower low is coinciding with a higher low in our side, which is bullish divergence, telling us that the downtrend is running out of strength. And given that we're still putting in these higher lows, I mean, I don't think a relief rally when we're very overextended to the downside is the craziest thing. But of course, you're right. There's plenty of bearish reasons, lots of bearish news. And so there are tons of reasons to be concerned. And so because of all this FUD and things that are concerning,
Mhm.
um, like bulls have to hold the line here, man. Because if we start putting in lower lows now, that is extremely bearish. Are we on my chart here right now?
Let's see here. Yes, we are.
We are? Okay. What do you have
Yeah,
pulled up on your end? What is that?
where? It's on
You
your
have
chart,
like
man.
this.
Some fake news.
Okay.
Keep going. It
Okay,
was
my bad.
actually on my
Okay.
screen.
Okay, no worries. So, okay, so folks, bulls pretty much have to hold the line here. Because if we don't hold the line here, then we're going to put in a new lower low.
Right.
And that's extremely concerning, folks. So, my kind of risk management strategy moving forward is I will extremely begrudgingly uh, move into stable coins each lower low that we put in, because each lower low that we put in is bearish confirmation. And so we have lost one of our most significant levels, is 33,300 range, but we're still above these three previous lows. So as long as we maintain above these things, we're good. But if we put in a lower low now, put in a lower low below these levels, each lower low that we put in, I will move more and more into stable coins. And 30,000 is kind of like the ultimate last stand inflection point, tipping point, where if we make a lower low below 30,000, at that point, I would feel confident saying that it's likely or not that we could be entering a bear market, an extended correction and consolidation phase, based off the evidence and the confirmation, not my feelings or intuitions. But again, guys, we're still putting in these higher lows. And so we got to hold the line here. Putting a lower low now, that's when I would get real worried.
100%, man. I agree. And we're looking through some of these comments here. What do we have here, man? I think let us know, guys, in the chat if you're bullish or bearish. Hashtag bullish, hashtag bearish, whatever the case might be, or whatever you want us to take a look at as well. Where we'll take a look at whatever you'd mention in the chats. But what's his name? Anstack 100 Planes saying, if you're a long-term trader, you will never lose. Hodl strongly.
100%.
100%, man. That's what it is. I think we're gonna break below 29K. Gerald, yeah, I guess you just saw where I'm reasoning to, what could happen based on this price level. Anstack is saying I laundered over 50K so far, so let's go to Monero. I don't think you want to say that on the live stream.
Don't do it in China.
That's crazy. But there's one comment here we got. The flag obviously needs to be worked on a log scale when the percentage changes are so large. Sure. As quick as Bitcoin goes down, that's believe as quick as his going to go right back up. If you look at the history of Bitcoin, there has been many times it has crashed and then popped right back up to the top. 100%, man. This guy understands what volatility is. Dolphin fan. Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. Smash the like button, man. Do us a favor and smash the like button. I don't know why these days, man. I think there's a bit of lower not engagement, but I guess like YouTube doesn't really put it up there as much anymore. And I saw from other YouTube channels as well, same thing.
Yeah, folks, YouTube is clamping down on what they consider borderline content. And crypto is considered borderline content. So, folks, if you want to support us, the easiest way to do so is to smash that like button. Because again, the more likes we get, the more likely YouTube is to share the channel, share the live stream. More people get to watch this content and hear what we're considering. Hopefully, we save a few people from panic selling or buying, and hopefully, make decisions again based off confirmation, evidence, and rational planning.
Yes.
So, yeah.
What a nice representation.
Yeah, man. Also, look, I think it's right now extremely important to talk about the stock market because Bitcoin is at an inflection point. It's at a tipping point. It's make it or break it territory. Very soon here, we're going to decide whether we're going to have a relief rally or if we're earning a correction phase. And so, given that we're at this like critical point, if the stock market crashes, which we're seeing weakness in the stock market, that would be extremely, extremely concerning. So right now, we're looking at a chart of QQQ, which is an index for the NASDAQ here. All right, we are seeing weakness build up in the stock market. If we take a look here at QQQ, again, it's an index of the NASDAQ. We're seeing higher highs in price action paired with lower highs in RSI, which again, is classic bearish divergence. You're looking at the NASDAQ, all right? NASDAQ is looking weak as well, same situation. Actually, not so much with the NASDAQ. What was it? It was the S&P. S&P, folks, look at the S&P here. Higher highs in price action, clear lower highs in RSI. Muy no bueno. We are currently, we did test the 50 daily SMA, and it seems like we're holding it at support, and we are having a bit of a relief rally in the short term. So we pretty much need to hold the line here at 4,160. If we don't, oof, that's bad news bears. So folks, we're going to start very begrudgingly, talking about the stock market a bit more and more, because at an inflection point like this, if we see a large correction in the stock market, that could be the thing that tips us over bearish. So right now, it does seem like the NASDAQ, like the S&P, is having a little bit of a pump, which is good to see. We want a healthy stock market because if the stock market crashes, that could be the thing that tips Bitcoin over to the downside. What do you think, man?
100%. Look, man, even over the past over the weekend, we're talking about the same thing in terms of the Fed. They had this, I guess, meeting talking about higher interest rates and all that. What's his name? Bitcoin and the wider financial market faced new wave of selling on June 18th following comments from James Bullard, the president of the United States Federal Reserve Bank, indicating that he expects the first interest rate increase to happen in late 2021. So this obviously was more hawkish than Wednesday's comments. Jerome Powell, who said, it's going to happen in 2023, so a bit more aggressive, I guess. But then again, the US dollar started gaining strength. Why? And even if we're looking at the charts here, if we go back here, if we're looking at the DXY, which is the dollar currency index, is just comparing as just a ratio of the dollar compared to other coins. Other currencies. We're seeing that it was on the rise for the longest time. Yeah. Because of these talks about inflation, because of these talks about higher interest rates. And guys, what happens is once you print a lot of money, the government starts there's risk of inflation and the dollar actually weakening. And overall, once they print more money and they want to hedge against that inflation, they higher the interest rates to make money circulation a bit more harder for banks. And, it results in people, buying less and less in terms of what they got. And the money kind of stagnates a bit just to hedge against that inflation. But then again, overall, once that happens, the you'll see that the effects of that takes a year or a year and a half for the market to feel it. But stocks right away see a dip. You'll start seeing people having more appetite for the dollar, and that's what we saw here for the longest time. The dollar has been rising since the mid to end May, and yeah, people are moving into safety, man. People are, there's huge talks about inflation, interest rates, the market kind of tumbling, all this news out there of the market actually crashing, the actual U.S. market. So people are moving into the dollar now, preferring the dollar. We're seeing it. They're buying. They're selling a lot of their stocks. We're seeing that the S&P, and just like you're saying, the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones are all experiencing that dump, including Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Bitcoin, the correlation with the market now is kind of evident, and that's just proving more and more that this is being used more of an investment. So now the whole market is getting hit, right? Including Bitcoin. It's not only that Bitcoin is bad, this and this. No. People now we want to see what's going to be the next thing. And Michael Saylor was talking about it in a bunch of these podcasts and whatever, man, which I highly recommend whoever's listening right now to actually take a look at it. But yeah, there's people using this is Bitcoin's time to shine. Is it actually a store of value? Is it actually a store of value? Are people gonna prefer Bitcoin over gold? Right, so that's what we're witnessing right now, guys. And you're seeing all these different governments jump on their own digital currencies. We're at a it's a historical moment. It's a historical time right now, man, and no one knows what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
But it's interesting how things are playing out, and you should pay attention and subscribe to this channel so you know what's happening.
100%.
What a nice
And it
segue in the end.
really, huh?
Nice segue in the end.
It is, man. It's really make it or break it territory in so many respects. Because look, if we enter an extended correction consolidation phase right now, then, the stock to flow model might be incorrect. The Bitcoin store value narrative will be called into question. And also, man, look, just to bring it back with the DXY here. So it seems kind of counterintuitive that the DXY, the dollar index, would be rising. And again, guys, we're talking about the stock market. We're talking about the dollar, not because we like it. We don't. We're in crypto for a reason. Unfortunately, the stock market and the DXY right now, when Bitcoin's at such a critical place, is super important to understand because it will have an influence on Bitcoin, because when we're at such a tipping point, any one of these factors moving dramatically could be the thing that tips us one way or the other. So we got to understand what's going on here. And look, the dollar has been rising as of recently, last couple of days here, pretty counterintuitively. Why would the dollar be rising if inflation is increasing? To my best understanding, the dollar seems to be a hedge against equities and stocks falling. So that does seem to be what's going on. But we're at a super critical place right now because, folks, for those who don't know, the DXY, the dollar index, almost has an inverse correlation with Bitcoin. When the dollar rises, Bitcoin falls and other currencies fall. When the dollar falls, other currencies, including Bitcoin, typically benefit. So isn't it curious that while the DXY, the dollar has been rising, Bitcoin's been falling? But we're running up against resistance around this 93 percentile range for the DXY. So if we find rejection here in the DXY, that is a very, very good sign. We're currently down on the day, which is good to see. If this bullish trend continues, if the dollar breaks out, if we do something like this, we break out, that's super bad for Bitcoin, folks. And look, no one factors in all, but if we do indeed break out, get above 93, put it in a higher high here, again, that could be one of the things that tips us over to the downside, given that there's, we're such at a critical point. Any one of these major factors could be the tipping point, and a higher high, bullish breakout, bullish divergence in the dollar could be the thing. So we need to find a rejection here. We need to put in these lower highs. We don't want to see the dollar pumping. If the dollar keeps pumping, that's no bueno for Bitcoin. And again, same thing with the stocks. If stock market, if the stock market falls, then Bitcoin, could fall as well. So we got kind of two things working against Bitcoin: the dollar rising and stocks falling. Both things that we don't want to see for Bitcoin at such a critical point. If we want, to be a bit more confident, we need to see either stocks hold it together, consolidate, maybe correct, but not too much. Just kind of hold it together, do nothing dramatic, and the dollar not pump any further. And if it can do that, then Bitcoin can stabilize and perhaps have a better chance of recovery.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I'm looking here. My bank doesn't allow Bitcoin. Coinbase has my wallet and are non-responsive. They are not answering. So angry. I've been trying for weeks. How do I buy Bitcoin without having pay through the noise or the nose? The noise, I guess. There's a
Mhm.
bunch of ways, man. I don't. Do you know anything specific? But I remember we are all struggling to buy Bitcoin or just get into the crypto market, man. I had to call my bank every time. She's like,
Oh
"No,
yeah.
sorry, sir. We can't process it." I'm like, "All right, I don't want to use my credit card. I just want to use my own money." Yeah, yeah, no, we can't do that. Why? Security reasons. I'm like, it's my money,
Yeah.
man.
It's
My
stupid.
own money, hard-earned
Yeah.
money. So I had to go to yeah, to the black market.
Yeah. Yeah. Use a bank that allows you to use your own money. Like I would literally boycott any bank that does not allow you to use your money whatever way you want.
There we
Yeah.
go.
That's the solution to that.
That's pretty whatever. So you're telling me 100K Bitcoin is on hold? LOL. Gold Penny's asking.
I would say, yeah, I would say until we can get above 41K, until we can flip this trend line from all-time highs to the next lower high, until we do that, then yeah, I would definitely say 100K Bitcoin is on hold for sure.
There you
We,
go.
we yeah, we need to start flipping layers of resistance into support sooner rather than later. Like we have to.
Yes, sir. Got out of a ridiculous stock market, left it to them to short each other into oblivion. Gold Penny saying, "Mother of all crashes coming," but some say Bitcoin to 160K beforehand. Hard to believe. Stocks, crypto, real estate, dollar are going down. Bitcoin should go up as the dollar crashes. Michael Berry, the Big Short, says the mother of all crashes is coming. So yeah, man. Look here, man. We talked about Bitcoin a lot. We just showed you whatever news is out there. Even if you guys even want to check the same thing we're talking about, also join our Discord. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you like the live stream. If you're still following so far, man. And even this, by the way, I found this website mining pool stats. It's showing you Bitcoin's hash rate. Huh? It's actually pretty interesting
Yeah.
because I was looking at
Yeah.
something for just something accurate, right?
Mm.
And you'll see here all the Chinese mining pools, the big ones, Ant Pool. What do we have here again? Raw Pool, F2 Pool as well, have been all declining in terms of the 7 day history, man. So things are looking kind of off. But besides that, man, let's just talk about something else. What do you guys want to talk about? VeChain, Ethereum, Cardano. What's out there? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, why don't we take a look at some alts here, man? Why don't we take a look at Ethereum? I'm very sad, very
Yeah,
begrudgingly because
you're like, yeah.
yeah, no, because look, man, we're dumping, we're dumping pretty hard here, so that's no bueno. So ETH right now is currently testing the 200 exponential moving average on the daily. We found our support on the 200 simple moving average on the daily. So if ETH wants any chance to look bullish, we need to hold above. We need to get this daily candle within the next 9.5 hours. Hold above basically 2000. Like we
Hmm.
got to get above 2000. We also look at this previous peak here. We're currently above this. This has got to hold. We got to hold this as support. Super price reactive range. Look, we can see here this previous peak super relevant. Over here, nice base as well. So we got to get above this range. We got to get it back above 2000. If ETH wants to look bullish again, ETH below 2000 is an ETH that's muy no bueno.
Yeah, I agree, man. And again, someone here is commenting there's no point looking at alts when Bitcoin is dumping. Nikki show. So
Yeah.
definitely,
No,
we
I
agree.
I I agree, but like we look at also to like identify the relevant price levels specific to each altcoin. We do
Yeah,
agree, yeah, Bitcoin is fully leading the market right now, but again, it's just good to know what relevant price levels are like per the altcoin, right?
yeah, no,
But
agreed,
yeah, Bitcoin's leading
agreed.
the market. Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, yeah, again, man, same thing. We're not gonna get too much into it, but again, just like we're saying, Bitcoin is leading the market, and all these altcoins, including Ethereum, are at very critical levels as well.
yeah,
Bitcoin is at 30K, trying to survive. Ethereum is at the 2K, trying to survive. We're hitting the 2K since the beginning of the year, since February, trying to push against the 2K. Got all the way up to the 45, and now we're at, now we're at a what do we have here? 50, 59, 56, yeah, 56% movement there. So, yeah. 2K, nothing crazy. This is your market update. I guess a lot of sell
Yeah.
volume you're seeing here on the 4 hours. So the past 4 hours, the past, 8 hours have been very bearish. We're seeing that happen even after, we've been upticking in terms of the MACD over here. Still, we're not really, we haven't been successful moving past the positive momentum. And again, RSI has been struggling to move upwards, and stochastic RSI came back in. So it's just the mid time frame for 4 hour. And yeah, even on the 4 hour, we're at the 200 EMA, man. Trying to respect it, but it's just not really happening. We just had a bit of a bounce, but again, very, very, very critical point for the whole crypto space, man. This week is extremely important, and specifically as well for Ethereum.
Oh man, this week's everything. And folks, look, ETH is like a leading indicator for the altcoin market, for DeFi, for altcoins. If ETH's healthy, the alts are healthy. If ETH's unhealthy, then the alts are unhealthy. So as soon as we see Ethereum start to stabilize, start to recover a bit, that's our cue that these alts have kind of like the minimum needed for an altcoin recovery. So again, ETH is super, super critical. It's a leader. It's a leading indicator for the altcoin market. So we need to get ETH needs to get above 2,000. It then needs to get above 2,100, and then needs to get above $2,250. So
bro, when's ETH
tons
gonna
of resistance.
when is ETH gonna flip Bitcoin? Can we have that soon? Is that gonna happen
Look, man.
soon?
Look, if the bull run continues, I think near the end, ETH could flip Bitcoin, because what happened in the previous cycles is Bitcoin peaked out first and then ETH. And look, with EIP 1559 coming this next month, I think. Look, man, I mean, end of the cycle. If not, I think next cycle 2025 is when ETH flips Bitcoin. Looking at a scalable deflationary ETH, man, it's just a matter of time before that thing beats out Bitcoin.
It is. And guess what? If Ethereum actually does flip Bitcoin, and now Ethereum is the face of the market, let's just say, hypothetically, that's going to lead a lot of these other altcoins to kind of decouple. If Ethereum decouples from Bitcoin, VeChain's decoupling, Matic is the decoupling, Solana, all these different altcoins will decouple, in my opinion, right? So,
I think they have a better shot. Yeah, and you got to think about this way too. What has a better chance of surviving long term? A scalable, deflationary,
highly secure
crypto with utility against Bitcoin, which is dirty, has no utility, and is proof of work. That's another thing I want to bring up. If ETH's proof of stake, scalable, greener, has utility, it's gonna become deflationary. It's just a bet on Ethereum is a bet that cryptocurrency will have more and more use case moving forward.
Yeah.
Because look, Bitcoin is look, when you hear these people talk about Bitcoin and all the reasons they mention why Bitcoin's good, that's all true and valid. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin is digital gold. It's digital gold. It's going to keep going up. That's all well and great. But ETH is the thing that brings utility to this market, smart contracts. And so, look, if it becomes, again, deflationary, scalable, it's proof of work, then man, I don't know. That recipe looks like a recipe to me that eventually beats out Bitcoin in terms of market cap.
There we go.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have an Altseason, man?
Oh, we're testing 2000. I think we're gonna have an Altseason. Actually, that's a very good question. So look, guys, I want to share with you something I've been mentioning on the live streams on my end here, and you let me know what you think here, man. But in terms of gauging an Altseason, I think I know exactly what we need to look out for, which is Bitcoin dominance. So whether the market crashes or Bitcoin recovers, either way, I think it's likely that Bitcoin dominance will rise. And so whenever Bitcoin dominance finds resistance and starts to reverse and puts in lower highs and lower lows, at that point, that's when alts start to take off. This is what we got to look out for alts here. Rejection of resistance and then signs of reversal. That's what we got to look out for. At that point, we can be confident that that Bitcoin dominance could fall to these lower levels for the previous cycle. As well, I do believe that Bitcoin dominance has a good chance this cycle of putting in a lower low because there's more altcoins this cycle than last, and more utility for those altcoins, and therefore more value is likely to be in those altcoins in comparison to last cycle. So I do think that putting in a lower low in Bitcoin dominance is relevant to the cycle. And in terms of when altcoin season starts and when to sell off, I think altcoin season starts is when we find rejection and reversal over here. And I think altcoin season ends once we put in a lower low. And I'm actually going to be taking profits, looking to take up profits if the bull run continues once we put in a lower low below these regions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now, if you actually look at Bitcoin dominance, right, and we are at some sort of resistance, and we look at ETH, for example, ETH has been rising in terms of dominance, while Bitcoin was going down. Obviously, it's inversely proportional. Whatever eats up more market cap, that percentage distribution in terms of market cap is going to go to whatever's getting higher. But overall, too, because we can flip it what I think could happen is that we can flip it even with low market caps too. Like if majority of the market is actually selling Bitcoin, and we continue to see some sort of sell off, and all of a sudden, now let's say Bitcoin's at whatever. What are we at sitting in terms of 45%, and right now ETH is at 17%. Which at one point, if maybe we took, let's just take beginning of the year here. Let's just take, if we're talking about January levels, Ethereum was at 11%. And if we look at Bitcoin at the January levels here, what do we have? I'm going way past it. December, January, and Bitcoin was at 70, right? Now we're looking at Bitcoin at 45, right? So Bitcoin's at 45 and Ethereum at 17. So Ethereum is still, going up in terms of dominance. Bitcoin just completely is dropping right now. Obviously, there's some sort of resistance, but then again, you're right, man. Like, if we do see that happen, we also need to keep in mind that we also need to understand what's happening with the market cap, because this is just the factor. It's just the distribution of what's happening. How much Bitcoin, how much market cap, how much dollars in Bitcoin, how much dollars is in Ethereum. But then again, these levels were at 2 trillion dollars, and now we're at. Do you know what the total is right now? I actually didn't even check. On CoinGecko.
Very good question. I can look it up. If you want to keep going, I'll look it up. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So, so we need to understand that we can flip it, but even on very low market cap. I saw right now 1.4 trillion market cap. We're at these higher levels at 2 So at lower levels, we have a lot that can flip, right? When we have lower market cap and crypto, Bitcoin dominance and Ethereum dominance can really flippity flop, I guess, in terms of what the distribution is. So. Yeah, man. Again, Ethereum did good this cycle. If we're just looking up to the year to date, Ethereum did great, 17%, when Bitcoin was just completely dropping since January, man, which is good to see. I hate seeing this market just falling with Bitcoin, just riding the wave, regardless of fundamentals. And I really hope Ethereum at one point does flip it, man.
I hope so, man. But we've never seen it, so I think until we see it. I don't want to get my hopes up, right? Until we see evidence of decoupling from Bitcoin, I will proceed on the assumption that we will still, the market will still be led by Bitcoin, because it's what's always happened.
Yeah.
And so again, different places measure it slightly differently, but according to TradingView here, market cap is currently 1.34 trillion. We are seemingly breaking down bearishly from this wedge pattern, which is super bearish. That's bearish confirmation. Now we still put in this higher low. And the key factor is maintaining these higher lows. If we put in, again, lower lows is the key thing, folks. Again, these regions here. Wow, that's very messy. But hopefully it's getting across the point, which is rejection should be anticipated. The concerning thing is lower lows, because lower lows is bearish confirmation. So that is muy no bueno. This is what we don't want to see. Looking at Ethereum, Bitcoin, we are sitting on support. So there is kind of some hope that as long as the ETH Bitcoin pairing can hold the line here, that maybe most of the dumpiness is over for the moment, but we'll see. It's just one factor. As well, the Ethereum dominance, very, very interesting here, is correcting as anticipated, as we've been talking about for weeks at this point. And so the question is, will ETH dominance hold the line here at the previous high, or will we fall back down further to retest this thing? Ultimately, if the bull run continues, I think ETH dominance is probably going to end up looking something like this, where we come back down, come back up here, come back down, and come back up. And so, because that's exactly what's been happening the entire cycle. And so, folks, again, we never just go in a straight line up or down forever. We zigzag, we have ebbs and flows. And so, if Bitcoin holds the line here again, man. I think a little bit of a relief rally is relevant. And look, we've been saying this for days and weeks, right? Like we've been saying a
Hmm.
relief rally to retest some prior resistance is very realistic. Again, in the short term, we're looking super weak, super precarious. But again, I think there's some signs of some bullish divergence. 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour. We're seeing that bullish divergence. We're seeing lower lows and higher lows in our size. So, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. But yeah, those are pretty much all my thoughts of the
There we
moment.
go. Same thing with me, man. This is pretty much it for ETH. So,
Yeah.
guys, if you like the live stream so far, make sure you like it. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I see a bunch of people talking about VeChain, Solana. If you guys want us to talk about more stuff, make sure you smash that like button. Let us know whatever you want us to talk about. Just comment on it in the text and the chat there. I see VeChain and I see Solana. I saw VeChain like a couple more times. So, I'll talk both ETH and Bitcoin. ETH needs to catch up. Yes, Dirty Harry. I guess so. I burn Ethereum every time I buy or sell VeChain. I don't even know what that means.
I burn Ethereum.
Yeah, I guess. I guess that would gold pennies then if you want to elaborate on us and let us know. But if you guys want to talk about VeChain, let us know. I think we can switch to that, man. ETH
Yeah.
and Bitcoin.
Like I have a few major holds here, but why don't we go through Cardano, Chainlink, and VeChain? I think those are pretty interesting, worth mentioning.
Yeah.
Last thing I would say though on Ethereum is I think again this we have a daily candle closing in about 6 hours here. Sorry, a weekly candle closing in 6 days, 10 hours. We gotta hold the line above 2,000. If we have a weekly closing below 2,000, that's real no bueno. Same with the daily close in 9 hours here. 9 hour chart needs to hold above 2,000. If we don't, that's muy no bueno. 200 EMA right there, next psychological level, price reactive zone previously. So again, a daily close above 2,000 is super critical to have if we want to even consider a short term relief rally for ETH. So moving on, man. Why don't we talk about maybe VeChain?
Let's talk about VeChain, man. So
Talk about VeChain.
I have the chart pulled up here.
All right.
VeChain today minus a negative 13%, which is very hard to see. I know a lot of our audience is into VeChain and what they stand for, I guess. We shared this new article by the VeChain Foundation talking about whatever recent partnerships they had and how they're involved in the healthcare system now with the tracking, I guess, doses or whatever of vaccines. I think that was the main thing. Let us know, guys, if that's something. If you read the news about what's happening with VeChain recently or not. But then again, obviously, whatever's happening in the market, the whole market is down, and including VeChain. We're sitting at 8.5 cents at the moment. We're looking at the daily chart. This is the 200 EMA. This is the 100 EMA. And yeah, we're below everything basically. As soon as we dropped here, we tried to find that support at the 55 exponential. So on the daily moving average, again, first time here, try that again. Didn't really work much. We dropped to these lower levels from January, and yeah, now we're just still finding the support. So for the longest time here, VeChain has been following Bitcoin, but specifically May 19th, very similar chart to what Bitcoin is doing. You'll see here, if I go back to VeChain, still same, same dumpage, I guess, downward movement. March 19th was a pretty big negative day, a bearish day. We tried to find support here a couple times. This whole, I guess, week since May 19th, again, tried it again, didn't work, got rejected off. This guy, which we previously got rejected off, came back down again, and just looked like, we knocked at this resistance at the 200 EMA so many times, and now more and more news is out there, and we just completely went past that right now, man. So we have 9 hours and 11 minutes for the day to close, but in terms of looking, is it looking good so far? No, not in my opinion. We did blow below past this, and if we're looking at the VPVR, the next biggest support level or direction where VeChain can be heading to is definitely the 5 point some cents. So something to keep in mind, but on a short term, you can see how even we'll be very reactive to these previous levels. So we got stuck in this ascending triangle. We know the first the maximum peak, the bottom, the 5 point some cents. Again, we have another higher low here, the 6.5 cents, and we just this is the in terms of what the next levels could be for VeChain. After this, if we don't really have anything, some sort of relief in terms of Bitcoin's price action, in my opinion, man, 6 point some cents all the way down to the 5 point some cents would be targets that I would be looking at as well, in terms of if you want to buy, or in terms of if you want to sell, depending on whenever you came in. These levels, in my opinion, are pretty important.
Hey man, you gotta stop hating, bro. You gotta
I'm not
stop
hating, man.
You're spreading FUD. Listen, man, this whole like, and I'm basing my conclusions based off like rational thinking and evidence.
Right.
It's so
I'm
old
sorry.
and it's very pretentious.
I'm
Okay,
sorry, man.
you need to just kind of like chill out
Chill
and
out.
stop burning so much FUD based off logic, reasoning. Okay, it's overrated.
Man, I would have
It's
slapped the
overrated.
hell out of you if you were on the same one.
No, but look, man, I agree with you. VeChain is looking stupidly bearish. We're losing layer after layer of support. 200 EMA on the 6 hour, gone. 200 EMA on the daily, gone. Fibonacci channels, Fibonacci retracement. Volume, we're losing all of it as support. VeChain is stupidly bearish. And I think you're right. I think a 5-6 cent VeChain is very, very realistic. Again, I love VeChain long term. I still own a bunch of VeChain, but I'm being very real with you guys. As long as we keep losing these support levels, as long as we stay below 9 cents, that's super, super bearish. We're losing, all our layers of support. So, I mean, if we put in a lower low below like 8 cents again, if we drop below 8 cents, I think 5-6 cents, could be our next stop.
Yeah, agreed, man. Agreed.
Yeah.
So let us know, guys. What's the average you guys got into in terms of VeChain? Let us know in the comments. I keep saying comments. Let us know in the chats. Did you sell all your VeChain? Are you out of your VeChain position, or have you been adding like a crazy person? Well, this
Who, me?
is not you. No, I'm talking about the guys in the chats, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not everything's about you.
Good point.
Yeah, man. Let us know, guys. What are your thoughts on VeChain? Let us know if you're convinced or no. And the analysis if there was.
Did we say Chainlink?
VeChain. I didn't say Chainlink.
Did you say Chain? Okay, someone was saying we said Chainlink.
This guy's
Anyways,
losing his mind, man.
Yes, we're referring to. Did I say Chainlink? I might have said.
I don't even know what's going on.
Anyways, we're saying VeChain. Yeah, VeChain. Yeah, so that's that, man. I don't know if you got any final words.
No, that's it for VeChain. Maybe let us know whatever else you'd want us to talk about. What do you have anything specific you want to talk about? We talk about Ethereum, VeChain, Bitcoin.
I want to talk about Chainlink here because look, I love Chainlink. This is a super solid play. Look, when it comes to cryptocurrencies with long-term staying potential, it's hard to really be confident in a lot of these altcoins long-term staying potential. But Chainlink is one of those that has one of the best long-term staying potential, like fighting chances. And so this thing's down 63 goddamn percent from all-time highs. And for those who don't know, Chainlink's an oracle. Oracles are needed because it essentially provides more information for smart contracts. So a bet on Chainlink is a bet that crypto will continue to have more utility and will need more information. That's a very easy bet for me to make. And so, look, Chainlink is looking pretty bearish here, although we're doing something very interesting, which is we are testing these August peaks. Super, super, super interesting that we had a DeFi rally back in August 2020, and we're now currently testing this peak. So if we lose this peak, that's very, very bad news bear. So let's see if we can hold kind of this peak here, this range. Let's see if this holds as support. If we start to put in lower lows, it's no bueno. We also have a Fibonacci channel where I could expect this running into some support at around $17 as well. So from $17 to $20 is our range. But like we gotta flip $20, guys. Like this is bad. If we want Chainlink to be bullish again, even in the short term, we got to get above and start holding $20. The longer we spend below $20, the longer Chainlink looks bearish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Is that all you want?
No, I actually think so. Yeah, you'll see here. Like, what is it? Since December, we had the support for Chainlink. We dropped below, came back up to retest, and we've been downtrending ever since. So looking like, man, the whole market is exactly at these levels, those critical levels from the beginning of the cycle that everyone was taking a look at. So yeah, man, we're at a make it or break it kind of a scenario right now, and Chainlink is definitely one of those. So looks like the biggest, what in terms of, if let's say we continue to drop right now, what's the next level you're looking at? What, 12 point some dollars, or I would say that's
I'd
where
say
the main
probably
breakout we had, or what do you think?
again. I think short term $17 just based off our Fibonacci channel here. We are respecting it here in the short term. So $17, and aside from that, I would say this peak is likely to be relevant here at about $16. That's where volume starts to build up. If we lose that, then a conversation about $13, which is the VPUR point of control, makes a lot of sense. So again, $17, around 16. This previous peak here. Let me highlight this a bit better. So this previous peak here around 16, volume building up, and then $13 where the real volume starts to come in. So those are the three support levels that I would look out for if we start to break down further in the short term.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. It's pretty simple right now in terms of where the direction is. So let's see how that plays out, guys. Maybe we'll go again live, maybe at the end of the day today or something, before the at the end of the candle close for the daily, to see how this
Yeah.
plays out. Maybe we should just pay a lot more attention to the market right now and let you guys know, a lot quicker, I guess. Just gonna increase our live stream, going live frequency, just to make
No,
sure you guys
no,
understand what's going on.
no. We need to make decisions without confirmation prematurely.
Yeah, that's definitely something we advocate for here in this channel, guys. So make sure you subscribe, comment, like, share, so whatever the case might be. But
Yeah.
anyways, man, maybe we'll take a look at Cardano, because some
Sure.
people were also talking about. So if we're looking at ADA or ADA, is it ADA? Is that what people call it?
It's 100% ADA for sure. 100%
Adam,
ADA.
like
You
Adam and Eve.
should, yeah, you should definitely say it that way. No one will get annoyed.
ADA,
Definitely. Yeah.
ADA. All right, whatever, man.
It's ADA.
You're
Yeah.
trying to get people to roast me, aren't
Yo,
you?
we should slightly mispronounce things all the time. I feel like it'd be really funny because people
Yeah,
wouldn't get
Matic, Matic,
it. We
Matike.
should do it. Yeah, what do you guys think? I think
Yeah,
it'd
I'm
be
gonna
funny,
bring the
like
fob out of me, man. To be honest,
just
I
like
think
slightly
hundred
mispronounce it, really.
percent, just really add a spin to it.
Yeah.
But
Can I take a
Cardano,
swing?
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just go to your chart, man. It's just hogging this whole live stream. Go ahead.
No, okay, go
No, go
ahead.
ahead.
No,
I'm done.
no,
Go
you
ahead.
take
It's on
no,
your
no, no, you
chart.
take it.
I'm not doing it.
Okay, $1.31 is what we got to hold as support. Look at the weekly here. Lots of weekly candles closing, reacting off $1.31. So, for ADA to be bullish, we got to hold $1.31.
So that's pretty much it for Brendan, guys. Thank you very much for your analysis. Ada, yes, $1.60, $1.50 is man, everything is just below these main levels. That's crazy. Today's pretty bad. Today's actually pretty bad for this whole thing. But yeah, $1.50 region has been the case for Cardano. We are at the 100 EMA again on the daily. We're below that too. You'll see here that ever since, what do we got here? I don't even think you can even pinpoint, man. Since what? Since November 2020, we never had a close price below the 100 EMA on Cardano. So Cardano was pretty much doing well during during Bitcoin's downward movement, during this whole market crashing since April, and yeah. It did hold above the $1.50 because it was moving slowly for a while where everything was blowing up until it actually broke above the $1.50, and we went all the way up to the $2.47 or 48 cent. So it did kind of hold properly, man, at the $1.50 in terms of performance, just price action. But how long is that gonna hold, right? How long is that gonna hold in terms of everyone's hopeful, everyone excited what Cardano has in store right now for the what they say in August, I think, is when they're gonna fully deploy smart contracts. So again, I didn't really keep up much because they keep pushing the dates, and then again, rightfully so, they have the reasons. But yeah, looks like that the bearish market came into fruition, and it's been driving the market down again. So we're at below these lower levels, and if you're in Cardano, you're wondering what the next stop is, or if you're trying to limit your losses, or whatever the case might be, you want to see where Cardano might be looking or heading to. In my opinion, again, $1.20 which we even peaked to again already. I would say even on the VPVR, $1.12 again. Moving to the dollar. Again, man, I don't want to be too much of a futster or too much of a bear in this market, man. But yeah, looks like if there's something you want to keep in mind for Cardano, definitely $13.12. Definitely the dollar, and if not, you're looking at somewhere close to the 70 cent as well. Looks like where that's the main level we broke into the switch. So yep.
Look, man, I think you brushed over something that's super, 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 super relevant.
Hmm.
Which is you're very right about the 100 daily exponential moving average. This is actually super concerning what we're doing right now, which is we're breaking below this moving average, and we have a daily candle close in the next 9 hours. If within the next 9 hours we have a daily candle closing below this thing, we haven't done that since when? When was the last time we were
I
below this
checked
thing?
literally. I just went back to November 2020. I
It
didn't
was
even look at it.
November
Was it?
2020. Yeah.
Damn.
And so, folks, what we look out for in short time frames and high time frames to call inflection points and call shifts and trends, specifically when you're looking at an impulse to the upside, you try and find a moving average that's held throughout the entire impulse. And as soon as you start to break down from that moving average that you've held the entire impulse, that's typically a sign that the impulse is done and that you're changing the market structure and that you could have a lot of downside potential. And folks, we've held this goddamn light blue line since November 2020. It has been the bedrock of support. We have not had a daily candle close below it, and we seemingly are having one now. So if in the next 8, 9 hours here, we close below $1.40, that is very, very bad for Cardano. I think the last stand for Cardano is $1.30, $1.31. Again, looking back to the weekly here, coincides pretty closely with the 100 daily EMA. So if we have Cardano closing below $1.30, $1.31, that's bad.
It is.
In that case, the kind of the last stand of support, I think, for Cardano is this white trend line based off kind of these wicks. So if we lose this thing, the downside potential for Cardano is extremely substantial. I mean, look, man, there's like next to no volume below us. If we start to lose that, I could see us fall all the way down to 40, 30, the 30 cent range.
Damn.
Yeah.
This is
There's
probably the
nothing
most
below
negative
us.
live stream we had, though. I
Oh
think
yeah, no. This is very, very bad, guys. Look, this is extremely, extremely possible.
it
We're
is.
losing critical support. Look at this. This EMA held all throughout our uptrend. We're below it. That weekly, we're below it. That right reactive zone. The last thing is this white line, and it's not much. It's not even that strong. So if we can't hold this, 40 cents, 35 cents, 32 cents, super realistic for Cardano.
100%. 100%. I agree, man. So be careful, guys. Be careful whatever you're looking at right now. We are breaking those major levels for these major altcoins right now in the market. Cardano is one of them. Ethereum is one of them. And yeah, man, just something to keep in mind, guys. There's a lot going on there. And don't just follow random people on YouTube, telling you to short and buy the market. No, don't just. They have a bybit link. Be aware. But anyways, man, that's it for Cardano.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll take a look at. I see some people also again asking for the Bitcoin chart. I don't know if they want some sort of a quick summary on it. We're pushing the hour and 22 minutes. If there's anything specific you guys want to take a look at, let us know. Someone here is saying, man, Techno guy saying Crow coin, the goat coin. I agree with you 100%. Crow is one of our favorites here. What platform can I use to watch multiple stocks without having to pay? I'm not techie. I like your charts. TradingView, if you want to not pay, they have a free plan where you can just put a couple indicators there and a couple charts. So you can check that out. But yeah, man. What else we got here on this gloomy day?
Well, if you don't mind, I'd maybe like to briefly take a look at Kusama just because we have the
Go ahead,
Parachain
man.
auctions going on with
Biggest
Kusama. And
Kusama
so
show. Go ahead.
I am a Kusama show. I love Kusama, but Kusama is extremely concerning. We're losing multiple areas of support. We're crashing. We're burning. Muy no bueno. For Kusama to be bullish, we need to get above 250 and start holding 250. If within the next 8 hours we close where we're at, that would be the most bearish Kusama's been since March So again, guys, 2021. So super, super concerning. I think what's going on with Kusama is buy the rumor, sell the news. As soon as Parachain auction started on the 15th, that was pretty much the beginning of the massive downtrend. So look, over the long term, I really believe in Kusama long term. Parachain auctions have just begun. For those who don't know how they work, basically projects buy up a shit ton of Kusama to lock it up for a year. So these are all the different projects buying up Kusama. So see, hundreds of thousands of Kusama is being bought up to be locked up for basically about a year. Extremely, extremely bullish. Kind of
So
tokenomics
they
for
already
Kusama.
like
So,
closed those auctions? Like, are these different like
so
participants already done, or?
So the parachain auctions, they go in kind of batches. So there'll be one parachain auction, and then another one, and another one. It kind of goes in batches, spread out over several weeks. So again, folks, for those who don't know, the way you become a Polkadot project, you got to get a parachain either Kusama or through Polkadot. You get that parachain by staking Kusama. The project that stakes the most Kusama is the project most likely to get a parachain slot. And so the number one project, the first ever project to be an official Polkadot project is Korora, because Korora is the project that got a parachain slot, and I actually participated in this thing myself. So I am in car personally. The way it works, if you guys choose to participate, is that you get 30% of the project's tokens up front, and then 70% later. So the way this works is that you loan out your Kusama to the project. The project again uses that for staking, and then you get the project's native token in return for your Kusama loan, and you get your Kusama back after a year after the parachain slot period. So yeah, no, we had the first one, and then there's going to be many more. One on June 22nd, June 29th, July 6th, July 13th, and so on and so on and so on.
Yeah, no, agreed, man.
Yeah,
So I guess June 26th. Can you go back to that?
yeah.
So June 22nd is where they got the second one. Okay, okay. So whoever wants to, besides Korora, they already got it. Then you're looking at
Yeah.
whatever's next, I guess.
Moon River,
I see.
probably.
Shiden.
No.
Shiden? Is that Shiden?
Shit,
God
stupid.
damn.
And if you guys want to know this website, if you go to parachain.live, this gives you live information on what projects are likely to get parachain slots next for Kusama, and when Polkadot eventually starts as well.
Yes, sir. So yeah, man. I guess that's pretty much it for Kusama.
That's it. Yep.
Perfect. So then again, guys. Wow, I just smashed my whole table. Yeah, maybe a quick another Bitcoin update. We've been talking for like an hour and a bit, so let's see if something changed. Nada. We're seeing a bit of this on the daily. What do we have here on the 1 hour? Again, man, we're trying to, we got back below this, quote unquote, anticipated support line. So now we're trying to go back up to retest it. Is that what's gonna happen? Let's see. We have almost what do we have here for the daily? So 8 hours and 52 minutes left for the day. We want to see if Bitcoin does actually hold above these levels, and we want to see if it's actually going to specifically hold above the 33,330. What are you saying about, man?
Man, I mean, come on. Do you not see this, bro? This is like super clear bullish divergence. Bro, I mean, look at this. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Don't be such a bear. Don't be such a fudster. I know you're out here, you're trying to spread fake news and you're trying to spread propaganda and you're trying to panic everyone.
Oh, man. Someone said, "Come on, bro. It's a bullish divergence. Can't you see it, man? Can't you see what I'm looking at?" I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, bro. Positive vibes, man. You're out here, you're spreading negativity, bro.
Whatever.
Bro, look at this. Look at this, my guy. Look, lower lows paired with high lows in our side. Classic bullish divergence.
But what if
this guy's a fudster, man. Bro, you gotta stop basing your decisions based off like reasoning. All right,
true.
You need to follow your heart and your emotions. What your emotions.
Greenie here agrees with you. She's like, I don't know if she's or he's. Sorry if she's saying awesome positive digital vibes. One, I guess I guess so, man.
Exactly.
You're right. I guess
Yeah.
even the people don't want to hear me FUD this whole thing. So, guys, look, man, Bitcoin is at a support level. Man, this is the greatest opportunity to buy the dip. Go 100K X leverage,
What if this was the
120X.
bottom?
Imagine. This could be the bottom, man. That's what are you looking at? What time frame here? 2 hour chart.
This is 2 hour. Yeah.
With so many good projects having updates around the corner, why is the market crashing?
Here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin leads the market.
China, bro.
Well, yeah.
No.
China's crashing Bitcoin. Bitcoin's crashing the alts. Guys, Bitcoin's always led the market.
Bro, Steezy saying people have been saying we're looking bullish for nearly months now, yet it's still dropping linearly. LMFAO. Let's not be fooled here. Steezy with a double Z. 100%, I guess. So look, man. What else we got here?
Well, look, man, like you said, we have gone for an hour and a half here. Maybe what we can do is kind of summarize our thoughts on Bitcoin, maybe answer any final questions and wrap
Let's
up.
do it.
What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Someone says, "Can I get your Bybit link?" Yeah, man. Check out our Bybit link in the description below. Please understand it's extremely risky.
Wow, look at you, responsible. Okay, so
no.
Bitcoin, man. We're at the daily again. Sorry, we just stopped this whole thing. But yeah, again, we said there's almost 8 hours and 50 minutes for the day to end. We're thinking we might live stream here if we're good to go. By the end of the day, see where that daily candle will close at. I do want Bitcoin to continue to close above the 33,300 and what do I have here? What's the closing day here? So 33,380. I'm just looking here, guys, at these levels. 33,380 dollars is where I want Bitcoin to go back above and close at the day. You'll see here, by the way, as soon as we broke above, found that resistance, came back down. We did drop, but we got bought up pretty quick, so did get accumulated within the day. But usually this is as soon as you start seeing this kind of candle on a support line, we expect the sellers did try to move down, but it's a support. Buyers, I guess, are lurking behind this, and boom, we see the price action continue to go back up. So this is a nice reversal. But yeah, I guess it's Monday and a lot of things are going on. And yeah, it's to me just to keep it simple, just for the day, just for the next live stream. We don't want to overload you with information. We want Bitcoin to remain above the 33,380, and that's for me for the day, man. I don't know, what do you think?
Look, for me, man, I think it's 33,300. Just because of the weekly. So, but like it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Bottom line is we need a bit of recovery to start looking hopeful. Because if we close where we're at right now, then that would be kind of the most bearish daily candle close since January. So it'd be pretty bad. So we do need a bit of recovery here to have a little bit of hope.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. Corey's, thank you for the $4 donation. Appreciate it. It's just hard to believe Bitcoin could hit 280K, 288K still. Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely is. A lot of things in the market are happening. The governments, economy, China, mining, hash rates, MicroStrategy buying more, the Tesla saying, if Bitcoin goes above 50% green in terms of, mining power and hash rate, we're back in. We're back in. These type of news is whatever dropped the market, and now there's some certain conditions that we need to meet. Not only the price action, but also in terms of regulations, policies, governance, and sustainability. So whatever our impact on the environment is. But yeah, man, you still think Bitcoin can go to 288,000 this year?
Well, look, whether it goes to 288 or not, I think it's a very arbitrary price target. But bottom line is, I think really what your question boils down to is, do I think the bull market's going to continue? And what it would take for the bull market to continue is very clear, in my opinion. Well, we have several layers of resistance that we need to get above in the short term. But ultimately, I think it's this red trend line based off all-time highs to the next lower high. So if we do want the bull run to continue and Bitcoin have a good shot of going on to 80,000, 100,000, 200,000 and beyond, then we need to get above this goddamn red trend line, come back down, retest it, hold it as support, and then the bull run can continue on its merry way. That's kind of the final test, the final thing that could bring us to kind of 100,000 and beyond is a retest of this red trend line. If we find rejection here, plenty of downside potential. If we break out bullishly, come back up, come back down and retest, hold it as support, then we have plenty of upside potential. And let's assume that we do that. Let's assume we can break above this thing and enter price discovery again. What I'm looking at to kind of take profits is not kind of arbitrary price targets, but one chart that I'm looking at is the new pull, a cycle indicator. So whenever we enter that blue euphoria zone, it's historically correlated with cycle tops. It just tells us too much people are making too much money too fast and the growth is unsustainable. So let's say Bitcoin gets above that red trend line. I would sell whenever we enter that blue euphoria zone. And again, one reason why I'm highly skeptical of the bear market happening now and the bull market ending is because many cycle indicators give us more room to the upside. And so things look stupidly bearish right now. But let's assume the bull market continued. I would just sell over here, whether that's 90,000 or 300,000. I would sell in the blue euphoria zone, not some arbitrary price target.
Right. Yeah. Agreed, man. Agreed. I see. What do we have here? I'm going to practice risk management and YOLO in the real Adam T. Look, see, you're finally getting it. You're finally getting what we're talking about.
Here's our bybit link.
Oh man, RD's saying, if that's the bottom, when do you think the fall will stop? So RD, if you've been watching, if you're a new subscriber, depends, but we've been talking about the 30k level being a support, and we held at it since May 19th here. So it's been 33 days that we're trying to hold at it. If this doesn't come through, if we don't find that Bitcoin here soon enough starts to bounce back up and continue to find support, we want to see these big institutions and corporations to actually start finding it, continue to accumulate at these levels. Then again, 30k does not hold. We're at least going back down to the 24k, 25k, and yeah, then again, we want to see that. But do we call me personally? I think we have better support to 30k more than I would say here. You see the cluster of trading activity, accumulation, buying, selling over here, a lot more than these lower levels. So we need to see how that plays out. We definitely do need Bitcoin to find that support, because look, man, this has been the most traded level in terms of Bitcoin, and I wasn't even sharing my chart. Isn't that nice? There we go. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is the 30k level. This is you'll see that volume bubble on the VPVR. This is the kind of I would say for in terms of period of time and zone, price zone, the most traded one. Again, obviously the 20k was the biggest one, but you'll see in terms of a zone, this is where a lot of the fighting is starting to happen. So if 30k does not hold, we need to see obviously 25 and 20k. It's not rocket science, but something to keep in mind, right? So we'll see how that plays out. We're seeing here, man, what's his name? What do we got here? You get banned, sir. So would you say the bull market is over, or is there still some hope? I think Brendan just explained that to you.
Well,
yeah.
Maybe if it's okay with you, I think I would like to take a minute to kind of summarize my position with Bitcoin here, just for the people that are maybe new or haven't heard. You okay? If you know, just maybe take a minute here.
Sure, man.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, guys, again, I just told you what it would take for us to be bullish. But what would it take for us to be bearish? Again, guys, people are jumping to conclusions. People are trying to call a bull market. People are trying to call a bear market. It is too premature. We need to wait out.
Got it.
For more evidence and confirmation. So what I'm looking out for a bull market is that red trend line, depending how I react off there. And what I'm looking out for a bear market is a lower low below 30,000, because we're forming a head and shoulders, and a lower low below 30,000 would constitute a bearish breakdown from this head and shoulders. And the price target for that is like negative 4,000. So, folks, what I'm doing to practice risk management is I will extremely begrudgingly take profits and move into stable coins each lower low that we put in. So I've identified the major lower lows here, kind of 31,000, 30,000, and this level here, 31,700. So basically these three, just maybe summarize and put this a bit more clearly. These three levels is what I'm looking out for. Each lower level that we put in makes it more likely the bear trend will continue, and I will move into stable coins. So 31,700, 31,000, and 30,000. Each lower low that we put in here, those three lows is if we put in a lower low, I'll move into stable coins each lower low that we put in.
Yeah, man. 100%. That's for keeping it simple, we've been talking about it for an hour and 40 minutes. But just to summarize it for you, yeah, these are the levels we're looking at. Overall, in terms of the bigger picture, that's what we always need to keep in mind. These certain big price psychological numbers that people will try to find that support at or accumulate depending on. But the real Adam T is saying 4,000 minus 4,000. That's a great time to buy in.
It would be
Great
a
buying
great time to
target,
buy in.
100%. You're getting paid to own Bitcoin. I would
Yeah.
love to see that one. But yeah, man, that's where it is. 8 hours, 41 minutes for the day to close. We'll see what happens. We got 200 people watching, man, which is crazy.
You guys are the best.
You guys are the best. Listening
Yeah.
to us,
Thank you for
ugly,
watching.
boring guys on crypto, man, on crypto YouTube, trying to make it happen. Something funny. Completely off topic.
Hmm.
So while we're live, I try to check who else is live at the moment.
Hmm.
And we're seeing even what's his name, Dap University, I think,
Hmm.
whatever,
Yep.
100,000 subscribers they got, and he's just got like 400, 500 people watching, man. I don't know, it's weird. It's actually very weird what's been going on. It's been really
Yeah.
rough getting people to actually join a live stream recently. So I don't know who to blame here.
I think it's a combination of YouTube censoring what they consider borderline content, and I think less people pay attention when things turn bearish, which is really ironic because if you're a long-term investor, which is what it takes to be successful in the space, the more bearish people get, the better your entry. And
Right.
so, guys, look, if you like what we do, you want to support us, the easiest way to do it is to smash that like button because we're constantly bringing you guys, the, the most important stuff to look out for to understand this market. We're letting you guys know what we're doing. And so, folks, you got to stay tuned because bull market or bear market, we're always going to be talking about the most important factors that we're looking at to understand this market, understand how to invest, and how to succeed in the space. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads.
100%, man.
Yeah.
Dominic here is asking, what trader view level do you subscribe to? We got the pro level.
Level 7.
Yeah, if why you would ask, because we're pros when it comes to trading. Pros bring in millions and millions of dollars every day, every trade. Positive win rate, 100%.
100% win rate. Never run.
Oh yeah, man. Leonel saying money market swinging up and down, 100%. Trader view. Everyone hit the like button. Please subscribe. Did anyone buy the dip, or you think it's bound to dip further? Could possibly dip further, but again, there's a lot of buyers in the market, a lot of institutions, and what's his name, buddy boy Michael Saylor is definitely buying more and more of the dip, man.
Yeah, and maybe one thing new a lot here is like you gotta have a goddamn long-term outlook because how do you succeed in this space? This is stupidly volatile. The
Tell
short
us,
term is super hard to call. Sorry.
tell us.
Yeah. So how do you succeed in a space where the short term is super uncertain and things are super volatile? Well, your greatest risk mitigating factor is your investment horizon, because the longer you're willing to hold, the likely you are of being right. Because if you're holding quality, then these short-term corrections don't matter. Because over the long term, the direction is clear. The direction is increasing, adoption is increasing. So, folks, again, you got to have a long-term outlook. Because if you have a long-term outlook, this correction won't matter anything. Because let's assume the worst case scenario. Let's say you bought in right here. Let's assume the worst case scenario. We're entering a 2-3 year long extended bear market. Well, come 2024, 2025, the next halving, we're likely to pick back up, reach previous cycles all-time highs, and enter price discovery. So again, if you have a long-term outlook, then eventually you're going to make money. So having that long-term outlook is the greatest risk mitigating factor, because the risk is you correct for a month, 6 months, 2 or 3 years. 2024 is the next halving, so the next bull cycle is likely to be 2024, 2025. So if you're willing to hold until then a correction now doesn't matter at all, because by then you're likely to make a shit ton of profit. So folks, you gotta have that long-term outlook, because again, who has succeeded in the past? The people with the longest term outlook. So that's likely to be one of the greatest factors to succeed in the space moving forward, is how long you're willing to hold.
100%. 100%, man. I see here, what's her name? Was it No V? What's his or her name? Sorry if I misgendered. You missed my question.
You're
So
gonna
let's.
get us canceled, man.
We will. Might as well, man. From KuCoin token. Crow, which is crypto.com, Ucoin token, Voyager token. Which do you believe will have the best growth long term? Thank you in advance. Well, you've been watching the live streams or watching our videos. We're heavily, I don't know about you, man, but I know you are. But crypto.com is definitely something we are very excited about. Yeah. Especially with all the partnerships with Visa, using it as a crypto settlement pool or service. How they're onboarding the average user, the average business, invoicing, finances, whatever the case might be, just to onboard these or on ramp these small businesses and the average person into the crypto space. And I think it has a bit more complexity to it. But still, a simple a user interface like Coinbase, right? Coinbase is very easy. No one knows crypto, man. Everybody wants to buy crypto, but no one really knows what's happening in crypto, right? So, easy use case and easy user interface is something that's definitely needed in whatever exchange we're looking at. And in my opinion, I don't know about Voyager. Not really fully involved with Qcoin token. But crypto.com is definitely one of those exchange tokens that we've been really excited about, and 100%, I'm not taking any money out of that. Even if I'm taking some money out of this, bull, bear, whatever market, crypto.com is definitely staying for sure in my portfolio.
Yeah, and I would just go with whatever has more long-term staying power. And so something like Qcoin, something like crypto.com are likely to be here over long term. So I would go with that. Not financial advice, but
100%.
Also, man, real quick here, let me ask you, if you had a coin and only one coin, if you had to pick something to hold for the next 5 to 10 years, what would you pick? Putting you on the spot, man. Quick, do not without thinking.
I would say crypto.com. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Just because if I know for the next 10 years, yeah, because
5 to 10 years. 5
to
10 years.
Because I don't know if Ethereum is gonna stay. Be honest, I don't know if Matic, if I know Ethereum's gonna stay, then 100% I'll be in Matic, for example. I'll be in Ethereum. But if you're saying 100%, I had one that I know for a fact is gonna be that one, crypto.com for sure.
Wow, interesting choice. I love it. It. Well, I mean, you were right about BNB. I mean, this guy was calling BNB at like $5-10. So, I mean, shit. I'm not gonna question you.
100%.
I would 100% do ETH, you fudster, you propagandist.
That is what it is. Yeah. I see someone who's saying, I love your content. When are you revealing your face? Pretty soon here. Pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll do it this week. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it sooner.
Anyways, man.
Very
I think
soon.
we're good. 1 hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah, guys, we're running up on 2 hours here. So, folks, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you stay tuned for the next one. We might even go live later tonight for the daily close. We'll see what happens there. So for me, just to kind of summarize, maybe last words, folks, have a long-term perspective. The greatest risk mitigating factor in a market that's super volatile is your investment horizon. If you're holding quality, not garbage like Shiba or some other shit coin, but if you're holding quality, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Crow or something, things with long-term staying potential, then the short-term doesn't matter. Long-term brings the greatest return on investment. Make decisions based off rational thinking and evidence and not your emotions. Again, practice risk management, although not financial advice. 30,000 is the inflection point. Getting above that red trend line is what it'll take for us to be bullish. And so ultimately, guys, make sure you stay tuned to this live stream, to this channel, because anytime anything significant happens, either with the stock market, the DXY, some China news, or some indicator, we are going to be letting you guys know the most important factors and goings on in the market every day. So, folks, thank you all so much for being here, and make sure you stick around for the next one.
I'm hungry as hell, man. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Stay tuned. If you're new, subscribe. If you're not, thank you for watching. Like the stream. Appreciate you guys. This is fun. Have a great day.
Take care, folks.